fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday, the early game, post game show, and the late game pregame show. We'll get to those late games momentarily and all the other early games, but first, the Browns beat the Cincinnati Bengals today at 35-20 at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. The Browns get their first road win since October of 2015, and I got to tell you, this was a very impressive game today, and the Browns are very much in the hunt for the wild card spot, and for the Bengals, it's their third straight loss. So, and Eric, the Bengals may have lost quarterback Andy Dalton for the remainder of the season. What does that tell you for the Bengals? What is that?
Well, they were falling apart before that. So
yeah, they were.
I personally don't think too highly of the guy. I don't think he's that good of a quarterback. So, but that Driscoll.
Yeah, he did. Jeff Driscoll did. You're right.
But he's also the backup. So
yes.
Do good for a game or two, and they kind of.
Yes, indeed. And in the first, the Browns scored 2 touchdowns, and we're up 14-0 at the end of the first. And the Bengals have missed a field goal. And in the second, the Browns scored another 2 touchdowns, and they were up 28-0. But then the Bengals scored their first touchdown, and it was on one of the Browns' big plays that didn't go the Browns' way. But then it was 28-6. But the field goal was good, and it was 28-7 at halftime. And in the third, the Bengals fumbled the ball at their 25, and the Browns recovered it at the Cincinnati 7, and so another touchdown. We're up 35-7.
That's the play that Dalton got hurt on.
Yes, that's the one that Dalton got hurt on, and they may have. And the Bengals scored a touchdown, and it was 35-14. Browns at the end of the third quarter. Now to the fourth that we go. The Bengals scored another touchdown, but the field goal was blocked, and it was 35 to actually it had to be replayed. Actually, it was the touchdown before that, and it was this one that had the the field goal was blocked, and it was 35-20. The Browns lead. Browns had made 3 plays, went 3 and out, and had the punt. And the Bengals, they had Driscoll had thrown a pass to Nixon, I think it was, and he caught it. But then there was a flag on a play, and there were several false starts. But then the one with the pass caught by Nixon, that had to be replayed. And then they had a turnover on downs after 11 plays, and the Browns got the ball back and made 4 plays and then went 3 and out, and they had to punt. And the Bengals made 4 plays, and then they had another turnover on downs, and there were a couple penalties with that. And all the Browns had to do then was to take a knee and just let the clock run out, and the Browns get the win. And the Browns beat the Bengals, win 35-20 over the Bengals. Browns go to 4-6-1, and unfortunately the Bengals fall to 5-6. And I've got to give out game balls and give credit to where credit is due. So, Baker Mayfield, that's my first game ball.
That's for sure.
19 of 26.
Yep.
Carries and attempts, 258 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions. David Njoku, 5 recovers, 63 yards, 1 touchdown. Antonio Callaway, 4 recovers, 62 yards, 1 touchdown. Jarvis Landry, 3 recovers, 30 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions. Duke Johnson, he's come alive, 3 recoveries, 23 yards, didn't score a touchdown and didn't intercept. Rashard Higgins.
Yeah, Baker threw to all his.
Yeah, and
he spread the ball around, that's for sure.
Yeah, he did spread the ball around today. He ran the pocket even.
Yeah.
And Rashard Higgins, 1 run recover, 24 yards, didn't score a touchdown, but those are 7 game balls I gave out for the Browns today, and
all the wide receivers did great.
Yeah, the Browns got all the game balls today, but for Cincinnati, Jeff Driscoll, actually, let me do Andy Dalton first because he got injured. 10 of 17 carries and attempts, 100 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and then Driscoll came in the second half. I think it was at the beginning of the third quarter after Dalton had gotten injured, I believe. 17 of 29, 155 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and Joe Nixon really 14 carries, 89 yards, but didn't score a touchdown or interception. He had a great day though. But I got to tell you, Baker Mayfield he spread the ball around, he ran the pocket,
Yes.
and he made some great plays. And Jabril Peppers made some good stops today, and Demarius Randall as well.
Yeah, it's good to have him back.
Yes. And,
did you see when he made the interception?
yes, I did. I saw that, and I got to tell you, Freddie. I have to tip my hat to Freddie Kitchens,
Yeah.
the offensive coordinator. He's really making some good play calls, and
Him and Greg Williams are.
yeah, they really are. And sources have said that Greg Williams has a 5% chance of becoming the Browns' full-term head coach.
Yeah.
But GM Dorsey's going to be picking that, and Haslam has to stay out of it.
Yeah, that's
But
true,
there's a lot of coaches out there, but Williams does have a chance.
yeah.
But
I think the Browns want to
yeah.
go with a young guy like.
I think they do, and I think the Bengals they battled back, but they just could not get the win, and they have been struggling. They have
injuries. AJ Green.
Yeah, and
part of their game.
they do want to make the playoffs, but they're gonna have to win. I think because there's only the last at least
5 games or so.
yeah, the last 4 games. Now
Even if they make the playoffs.
yeah.
First round, because they do it every year.
Now next week, the five games left. If the Browns can win these 5 games, they could have a chance to get the wild card spot, and they go in to Houston next week to play the Texans. They play against Houston. I think that's a road game. I can't. Yes, it is an energy stadium in Houston, and
Really good. So.
yeah, and it's going to be a challenge for them. And I don't know what this point spread is yet, or who's favored for that one, but I think the Browns could have a chance to beat them. So
I'd say the Browns probably be Texans would probably be like a 6-point favorite.
yes, I think it's going to be Texans could be favored 6.5 points, but we'll see. We're going to I'm going to go over all the early game scores, and right now, and we have taken all of the same picks. We're going to end up in a tie again this
We
week.
have all the same picks?
Yes, look at yes, the exact same ones. We did it all. We agree on every one of them. We're both 7-3 right now. Excuse me.
What are the chances of us
Yeah, you're right. I indicated earlier I'm going to go over the 3 things. Actually, I'm not in my pregame third quarter show. I'll just do them again, just briefly. The Chicago Bears beat the Detroit Lions Thanksgiving Day, 23-16 in Soldier Field in Chicago. The Dallas Cowboys beat the Washington Redskins in Big D at AT&T Stadium, 31-23, and the New Orleans Saints, under quarterback Drew Brees, beat the Atlanta Falcons, 31-17. Drew Brees had another fantastic game. Boy, did he have it.
It's going to be
yeah.
playoffs.
You're right. I think you're right. And before I get to the early, all the rest of the early games, because the Browns won 35-20, just in case you missed it yesterday, the big rivalry, the Ohio State Buckeyes walloped, and I mean walloped, the Michigan Wolverines 62-39 at Ohio Stadium in Columbus. And they will go up against Northwestern in the Big Ten playoffs next week. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, the Buckeyes surprised me. They
surprised me too.
But I thought it'd be a much closer game than that. But then it should have been a bigger blowout than it was 62-30.
Yeah.
Because at those 2 bad plays right before the halftime, that gave Michigan back, right back in the game again. Because it was 20.
Yeah.
21-6, and they made those horrible plays, and Michigan scored like 2 touchdowns in like a minute. So the game could have been even a bigger blowout than it was.
You're right about it. It could have been a bigger blowout than what it was. You're absolutely right. But there was one that was a bigger blowout, and that was the Alabama Crimson Tide walloped Auburn 52-21 yesterday in Alabama, and boy, that was a big-time blowout, because Alabama just, like I say, they just got on a roll, and they just never let up.
They look tough. I don't know.
It's gonna be a tough one, though.
whoever they play in the first round of the playoffs.
And Urban Meyer knows, though, that Northwestern is going to be a challenge.
Yes.
That's going to be a challenge. So we're going to have to wait and see. We have to see what happens. I know they're going to have to come up with a good strategy for that one.
If Ohio State
next week.
actually comes to play, they kind of play down to their opponents. If they actually
You're right.
play
You're
like
right.
they did against Michigan, they should handle Northwestern no problem. But
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
they should have handled Purdue too.
Yeah. And that one was not even close. That one. So now for the other early game scores. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Giants by a field goal at Lincoln Financial Field Stadium in Philadelphia, 25-22. Boy, what Carson Wentz? I mean, he did quite well today. He didn't do too bad, Carson Wentz.
He's coming back from injury.
Yes, he is coming back. Yeah. The Buffalo Bills beat the Jacksonville Jaguars at Ralph Wilson Stadium in Buffalo, 24-21. Boy, just a tough loss for the Jaguars today.
Kind of up and down. The Bills and the Jaguars are up and down.
Yeah, it was up and down. And boy, talk about a big upset in Carolina today. The Seattle Seahawks, in the final seconds, kicked a field goal and beat the Carolina Panthers 30-27. They were tied at 27. And in the final seconds, they kicked a field goal. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. At Bank of America Stadium in Carolina today, in North Carolina. Boy.
Both those teams, Seahawks and the Panthers.
Yes, they are. They really do.
They're both like playoff teams a couple years ago. Now they're kind of falling apart.
The Oakland Raiders. The Baltimore Ravens walloped the Oakland Raiders at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore today, 34-17, and Raiders they're just falling apart this season, and
they might be the worst team in the NFL.
They're
lucky they beat the Browns.
They will be lucky if they would. If I think we do. I don't.
We played them that one game.
They were lucky that when they beat us that day.
Should have won that game.
And you're right.
That might be the only win. I'm not sure if they had wins
I think they're 2-2. Yeah, I think 2-9 or something like that, or 2-10. I can't remember.
I'm still mad about that, bro.
Yeah, and they could be the ones to get that first pick in the 2019 NFL Draft.
Them or the Cardinals or something. They're both.
Yeah. So we shall see. And rounding out two more years. Excuse me. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers walloped the San Francisco 49ers 27-9 at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Boy, Tampa Bay just came out, just fired up today for this game.
Yeah, the 49ers, their season was over.
When Garoppolo got injured. And their backup quarterback, Rollins isn't too bad. He's done quite well. And rounding out the early games, the New England Patriots, under quarterback Tom Brady, beat the New York Jets at MetLife Stadium in New York 27-13. 14
points in a row.
Yeah, and New England's going to be back in the playoffs by far, but
they're always.
The Jets, they've got to win it. They need to win at least 4 more games if they want a shot at the playoffs, but we'll see on that one.
The Jets could be having a top fight.
Yeah, and Sam Darnold, he's played well, but there's been certain games where he's struggled. Yeah. There has been.
I'd say out of all the teams with young rookie quarterbacks, Baker's looking the best out of all of them.
Well, we have 3 late games that are fully underway. The Arizona Cardinals are taking on the LA Chargers at StubHub Center in Los Angeles, and we both feel the Chargers have the edge in that one.
Yeah, they should win that.
And the Steelers are playing the Broncos at Sports Authority Field in Denver, and we felt the Steelers have the edge in that one. And the Miami Dolphins are taking on the Indianapolis Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, and we both felt that Indianapolis had the edge in this one. And
the Dolphins are like the Bengals.
Yeah, you're right.
They're kind of just falling apart.
Well, I will be back once the late games have concluded with the late game, post game show, and the Sunday night football pregame show. And Eric, I want to thank you for being on with me.
My pleasure.
And That's gonna do it. We'll see ya.